After what, 2 weeks, isn't it, since the last game, Martin? Off-field issues seem to have been at the forefront of everyone's mind. How nice is it now that you've got a football match to concentrate on?
Yes, the most important thing. I think that's what we need to do. We need to win games, and I think it's great that we have a game tomorrow night against Southport, and you know, it's been quite refreshing there. The players, no room for excuse. They fully recharged, done a lot of work. We've done a little bit some additional stuff away from football as well. So I'm hoping that we get a fantastic result and a fantastic performance.
Recharged, but I'm sure if given the opportunity, you wouldn't have had a fortnight out for this stage of the season.
No, definitely not. I mean, it wasn't planned. I mean, getting games called off, I think it's the first time in years that there's been a game called off at York. So, yeah, it was a disappointment, but equally, you know, results have been good for us. You know, Saturday, you know, everyone's watching the TVs at 4:45 and the phones, so it was good. You know, it could have been a lot worse. We're still in a really good position, but we've now got to back that up with a win.
What have you been able to do in this last 2 weeks? As the weather hasn't been great, lovely day today, but it hasn't been like this for the whole 14 days.
It hasn't, but I think, you know, we've done a lot of work, not always on the grass. We've done a little bit of work off the pitch, whether it's team building or team bonding. We've done a lot of work that hopefully we'll see some good outcomes tomorrow. But equally, you know, the weather of the last 3 or 4 days has been good. We've been working all weekend. We've put a lot of work in the training ground, and we're ready for the game.
The players must be chomping at the bit.
I hope so, because you know, if you know what you're in it for, you know, you're here to play games, and you know, they're recharged, and we've got to make sure that we come out the blocks flying tomorrow. It's a big game for Southport. They've still got a great chance to play off, so they'll be coming. You know, a draw, I don't think will be any good for either team. So we've got to be sure that we're on top of our game and respect them as you'd respect anybody else, and make sure that we're our best.
And if you do win tomorrow night, it is going to make the gap, and with the game in hand as well, it's going to make it pretty difficult for Southport at the end of the season to overtake you.
It does, and again, we've got to make sure that we put a performance in. We can talk about it from here, but we've got to now sort of deliver, and I think that's what it's all about. As you said, the players there jump off training ground. We know we do an awful lot of talking. It's time for the senior players, and I mean the senior players, not only Sean Newton's, whichever senior players are starting in the team, that they've got to have more leadership within the group, and we've done a lot of work regarding, you know, can we have a team of captains? Can we have a team of 4 or 5 real vocal people within every department to come through to the forefront now? And
having had this 2 weeks spell without a game, I don't expect you to give me your team, but when in that 2 week time did you sort of, in your own mind, say that's the 11 I want to take the field against Southport?
I judge a lot of players off how they work on the training ground, and you know, I'm not going to say you leave John Parton now because you trained purely yesterday, because you wouldn't do that. But equally, you know, it's how the players perform, and you know, to be fair, they give themselves, so they give me good selection problems, you know, from a medical point of view, and the physio does a great job of keeping everyone available for me. So important that you know, you try and pick the right team with the right formation to win this game.
Have you got any injury problems?
No, it's a clean bill of health, so that's really good. So you know, we're just ready for the game.
And the transfer window is obviously closed now. Under the impression you maybe wanted to try and bring someone in last week, but maybe that didn't happen.
I was going to bring you in, but you've took a step of a poo walking on the road. I'm seeing this as about our own players, but yeah, we are where we are. I think every manager's got the same scenario. You know, we working with the players. I believe our players, you know, we weren't searching around the last minute to bring somebody in. You know, we were happy with the squad, and it's now time for the squad, with these 8 remaining league games, to deliver.
That can be seen as a positive, I suppose, as well. You know, you've got those players. They know they're all in this together now for their games. They're not going anywhere else.
Yeah, they're
all here,
and that's important. Obviously, Heslop's out suspended for the next 2 games, which dragged on a little bit too long for us. But apart from that suspension, everybody knows they're fighting for positions now.
You changed your formation at Kidderminster in the last game. Are you able to tell us how you're going to approach this game tomorrow night?
Of course I will. But no, listen, what is good is that we have personnel that can play different formations. Formations is just a word. For me, it's what you do in that formation, and I think it's about the mentality now of players, and about it's now time, keep saying the word time, that the mentality has got to come through, and we've got to have a winning mentality, and make our home ground a real tough place for opposition to come to.
You talk about the experienced players having to stand up. Is that something you think that they've maybe been shying away from it a little bit in these last few weeks?
I wouldn't say shying away. I think it's taking responsibility. I think that's what we're looking for. I think, you know, everyone leads in different ways, but you know, I feel we could be a lot more vocal on the pitch. I think Dan Parslow does it ever so well. He's natural, he's a talker. I think it's infectious, and I like that in players. So it's so important that sort of we have more of that and generate our own sort of high tempo game, aggressive style that I like to have.
Sean Newton's obviously your captain, so I suppose he's the figurehead of your team. How does he get involved in the dressing room before games? Does he talk to the players as a collective? Does he talk to players individually, or is that just not part of his personality?
He does, and I think he's been smashing. He really has. But you always want more. You know, I'm saying Sean. You know, I've had a few meetings with Sean the last few days regarding guiding people, lifting people, holding people up, and making people be more accounted for the jobs. And he understands that. You know, it's probably his first role as a captaincy since Gary made him captain in the summer, and hopefully with his experience that he's gained, you know, the age he is now, that he's got to come through, Sean, and produce the performances and the leadership that I expect.
Since last time we spoke to you, off-field issues, mentioned them earlier on, the chairman's now put the football club up for sale. What has he been able to tell you and the players to try and put your minds at rest and ensure that you can concentrate on what happens on the field?
Yeah, it's important, and it's business as normal. I think I'm being honest there. It's nothing more than that. You know, we're here to get promotion. Focus on your job, Martin. You know, please get me a promotion. Let's have something to enjoy at the end of the season, and that's our aim.
There's a lot been made of it, but as things stand, nothing's actually changed. Because until someone comes in and buys the club, things carry on as they are, from what I can see.
And I think you're totally right. I think, you know, there's no point in making a mountain out of a molehill. We are where we are, and you know, the chairman's made it quite clear how he sees things, and we've got to get on with our business.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.